I'm ready for work. I think I wanted to wear all of the bracelets which are given as options in today's reading on my left hand, but I gotta say, it's a pretty heavy hand. The heavy hand of responsibility. Hey crew, welcome to the Spiritual Social. I'm Lexi, your local light worker. I thought of creating today a past life love story deep dive, mostly because it's a new moon in Cancer. Cancer is the sign of the past, and I thought, what better timing? Cancer is also at the moment in the sign of Jupiter, or Jupiter is transiting through the constellation of Cancer. That's a bit of a roundabout way of saying it. But we have basically a new moon, so a fresh start, that allows us to dive deep in the past, and because it is conjunct Jupiter, the planet of good luck, we can only grow from what we learned from the past. And this is my hope and intention with this reading today. Happy midsummer as well. There is so much light in the northern hemisphere, so I really want to take advantage of this gorgeous energy to create this past life love story deep dive. Keep in mind, I still have a couple of readings of this nature. One of them has been one of the most popular reading on my channel, which I created in 2020 during the pandemic. So make sure that if you don't find any satisfying conclusions or love stories in this reading today, go and check the previous reading that I created. It's on my main channel's playlist. I have a pick-a-card playlist there with more than 700 pick-a-card readings for you guys to explore. Okay, all this being said, I want to show you guys the crystals I selected for you. These are crystal bracelets that some of them were donated, others were purchased from crystal fair shops here in Romania. So for you, group 1, I have an aquamarine bracelet. It has this beautiful blue, light blue color. It's one of my favorites. And aquamarine is the stone of clear thinking, clear insight. For you, group 2, I have here this rose opal bracelet. It is so sweet. It has such a sweet energy. And rose opal, much like rhodochrosite and rose quartz, is considered to be a stone of love and acceptance. Now, for you, group 3, we have crystal that is a bit on the more pricier side because it's quite difficult to mine and to find. We have here green jade, considered to be the stone of prosperity and abundance, and usually associated in Asia with emperors. Okay, now for you, they don't look at all symmetrical after I place them back, but that's the beauty of them. They're not perfect, but we love them. Now, group 4, for you I have this finer howlite bracelet. It has gray and white specks of color. And howlite is considered to be a stone of spiritual protection. For you, group 5, this is a crystal that is in abundance to be found here in my country in Romania. This is carnelian, and it's a bit of a massive crystal compared to the howlite one especially. These remind me as well, these crystal ones remind me as well of maraschino cherries. Yeah. But anyway, carnelian is the crystal of stability, safety. And for you, group 6, last but never least, we have obsidian. This is a crystal that is the OG protective stone. It guards against evil. It is almost like mirroring back all the negativity that is being sent your way. And if you are working with tarot, astrology, spell work, you definitely should have one in your collection because it is just keeping all the negativity to the side and dispelling all of the curses or bad juju other people are sending your way. Yeah, so these are the options. I would strongly advise you to choose with your gut instinct. The first thing, the first bracelet that your eyes fell upon, go with that one. Even if you may like the color of the other one, go with the first one, with the instinctive reaction, because usually our instinctive, intuitive reactions, our gut reactions, are the voice of spirit guiding us. Yeah, it's that inner voice that is telling you, go for this, you know that you have to do this, you know. And then if you make that choice, there is a higher likelihood that the message will resonate with you. That's why it's so important to go by what you feel, by what you intuit, by your gut reaction. Yeah. Okay, well, if you have made your choice, then I won't keep you waiting too long. I just want to thank you all and give you a great big energetic hug back. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your love and support. Please comment, because your comments are letting me know what you guys like and dislike, what you guys may want to see improved, what you guys enjoy about the work I'm doing here. It's a beautiful way to directly communicate with me so that I can create readings that are helping you. We are all in this together, and I'm more than happy that you're part of my soul family. Remember to include yourself by subscribing, comment as well, and like. And please check all the links that I placed for you in the description box. They take you to all sorts of resources that can help you connect with me outside of YouTube. Okay, all this being said, let's not keep you waiting. Let's find out the details of your past life love story. Hey group 1, welcome to your reading, my darlings. So this is for those of you that were drawn to this aquamarine bracelet. This is the crystal of clear thinking, clear insight, a peaceful mind. It's actually one of my favorite bracelets. It represents the birthstone or birth month of, it's the birthstone of the birth month of Pisces. Aquamarine can also be used very beautifully for Aquarians. Yeah, I don't know why I am not pronouncing things properly in your reading. There could have been a speech impediment that I'm tapping into. Let's see the cards that you have. I'm going to live shuffle from the Tarot of Cosmic Slumber. So let's see, for group 1, the details of their past life love story. Okay. First of all, I see a lot of swords. We have here, I'm not going to take reversals because they make no sense in a past life love story. We have here the 9 of Swords, and we have the Ace of Swords. In addition to this, we have Impulse. I can also see Remember. Oh, this is so beautiful. And you got the 10 of Wands. Okay, as you can see, there are very little characters. There's only one person here. Very few characters, but a lot of greats. So right off the bat, there was a situation of imprisonment. I definitely feel that you had a lifetime in medieval Europe. I feel that this is the lifetime that we're able to access. And in terms of your love connection, you were clearly separated from your beloved. There was the force of justice, the hand of the law, that completely put like a complete border, a wall, an impenetrable frontier, that's what I'm hearing, between you and your beloved. Something was done on impulse for which you had to pay. And as you can see, we have the heart. We have also this beautiful landscape and full moon. You acted on your emotions, you acted on your feelings, you were overflowing with love for your person. And unfortunately, that act of impulse that you made with your whole heart was punished by the law. It could have been that you were in love with somebody that was from a different position than yours. Maybe you were a peasant and you were in love with somebody that was royalty, or vice versa. Although I have the feeling that the punishment wouldn't have been so severe if you were somebody of a higher class. Unfortunately, you know, corruption, yada yada. So I'm going to have a look at the other cards that I have here for you. I'm pulling from 2 different tarot decks. So let's see. Maybe this will give us more insight related to the characters. We have here the 2 of Pentacles. We have here the Page of Swords. Oh my goodness. Do you know the first thing that came to mind when I saw these 2? Do you know the book Atonement? It was also adapted into a movie that was quite popular with Keira Knightley. Okay, I'll give you in a second what I'm picking up on. Knight of Swords, and also we have here 5 of Swords. Oh, yeah, definitely. Okay, so we're finally seeing the characters. First of all, Spirit wanted me to see the details of this act of impulse that was severely punished by the law. As you can see, one of you, and I'm guessing it's you, the seeker, the one who clicked on this reading today, you were the one that was placed behind bars. Okay, I'm getting that the themes of imprisonment and just dealing with the justice system is something that will recur for both of you in this lifetime, unfortunately. So one of you may be unfairly accused of something, one of you may need to go to prison or to jail for a very brief period of time. One of you may need to stand in front of a judge and defend themselves. You will definitely be feeling that there are some barriers on the path towards you falling in love with somebody, because this is what happened to you in a previous lifetime. One of you was born with some sort of karma related to your heart, to the expression of your feelings. You may be feeling blocked or stifled in the present reality from expressing your feelings with enthusiasm. You're afraid. You're like, I can't get too overwhelmed, I can't get too excited, I can't show a person that I really love them because something bad is going to happen. This is the memory of your past lifetime, when you were overflowing with love, you acted on impulse, and unfortunately you were punished for it. Yeah? So if you feel that there is always a restriction against you feeling too much or feeling as excited as other people are feeling, then just so you know, it comes from this past life trauma of you being separated from your beloved right in the moment when you were brave enough and loving enough and overflowing with joy enough to express your feelings towards this person. The path of healing in this lifetime is remembering this karma, is remembering the fact that, hey, you know, what happened to me was an unfair punishment from the outside. So I am allowed to express my feelings in this lifetime, not because the same thing is going to happen again, because I feel like in this lifetime, if you break through the barrier of fear that has been created around your heart and feel things intensely again, exactly the opposite is going to happen to what happened to you in the past lifetime. If in the past lifetime, in this love connection, you showed your heart, right? You were wearing your heart on your sleeve. You confessed your love to a person, and unfortunately circumstances were unfavorable to you living out this love. I feel that in the current reality, you need to overcome this fear karma in love in order to get towards where you need to be. That's the only way you're gonna heal the situation. It's beautiful but tough, definitely, because of course, logically, the logical, intelligent thing to do would be keep protecting yourself. Don't show your feelings, you know, because what if you end up here again, right? But no, you have to show grit, determination, resilience in showing how you feel despite unfavorable circumstances, despite the fear. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you saw that. So my cat Noah is completely adding to this reading. Now let's talk a little bit about what I mentioned earlier with atonement. So in atonement, the story is that two people fall in love. They have like this kind of secret romance, and a child tells on them, more or less, right? Basically talks against them, spreads malicious gossip that ends up really separating the two lovers. There's more to the story, obviously, than I could summarize very quickly right now. I highly encourage you to read the book first and then watch the movie. But I definitely see that a child played a role in your separation. I also feel as well that there was another individual, a really powerful, shadowy figure, a really intense woman filled with jealousy, envy, and like a lot of dark energy. Dark energy is basically intense emotions of negativity, right? Envy, fear, hatred. This can also create like this really dark aura around an individual. So there was a person, I feel like either a vengeful mother-in-law or a mother that was jealous, narcissistic, who tried to keep you apart from your beloved. And the child was used more or less in a manipulated way to interfere with your situation. I'm trying to understand how the child interfered. It could have been a surprise pregnancy that happened, the announcement of a surprise pregnancy when in reality your beloved wasn't pregnant, but it led to the two of you being discredited in the front of society. I'm getting stronger that this could have been a sibling, a younger sibling drowning, a younger sibling that drowned. And either you or your beloved were blamed for the drowning of this child by this vengeful mother figure. Oh, okay. There was definitely something here with water, river. Like I see the small child trying to drink from a river or drink from a water source and being pushed. And I see a lot of people pointing hands and fingers at you. I feel like you are the male counterpart. No matter what gender you are in this reality, you are a representative of this Knight of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius in a past lifetime. And I feel like your beloved was representing this Two of Pentacles energy, being caught in between two worlds. I definitely feel like this was a connection that not many people approved of, because you were of different classes, different levels of wealth, and the interfering of this mother-in-law was trying to re-establish the boundary, the class boundary that you guys were trying to break through. And she did it by, I don't want to say it, but I'm guessing here that it was an arranged murder. Neither of you contributed to this poor child giving up the ghost. Yeah, this is about this negative energy, the scheming and machinations of this really toxic energy. In this lifetime, you could have a very powerful either mother or boss, or like a nemesis, a counterpart, a friend that was very close to you. Initially, you had a very close, responsible, attached relationship to this person, and this person is becoming more and more embittered against you, and could even want to keep you for herself, blocking your chances to fall in love with other people. This is especially true of those of you who find yourself constantly falling back into a connection to a mother figure, like maybe needing to live with her or needing to support her. It could also be a symbol of a mother, not necessarily your own mother, but whomever you see as a maternal figure of authority. But I definitely see here two young people being in love, class separating them. You were the poor one, you were the male one, she was the rich one, and she was incredibly protected by this nefarious maternal energy who was clearly against your chances of happiness. And this poor child, a sibling, I see a sibling of her, of your beloved, ending up losing her life and you guys being blamed for it. And I guess this is why we are here. We ended up here with incarceration, punishment. So it's not only that this person wanted to use the class card to separate you. It's like, you're poor, what can you offer my daughter? But it was also, you are a murderer, thereby you are a problem to society, you should be behind bars. A big burden. This love comes with a really big burden. You're carrying on your shoulders a very big burden in terms of love. And there could also be some karma surrounding the expression of your feelings. Yeah, you may have a moon conjunct Saturn, moon conjunct Pluto in your chart, moon in Capricorn, moon in Scorpio. It's like you can't feel too much, feeling within limits. Yeah, like the prison of your heart. But this is something that happened to you in a past lifetime. You don't have to replicate this in reality. You came with this ancestral astrological energy, but you are meant to break through. Nowadays, fortunately, class separations aren't, how should I say, I mean, money still divides people. We still have the separation between the wealthy and the poor, but class consciousness is more widespread. People are letting go of certain behaviors that are connected to belonging to a certain class, like we saw, for example, the dissolution of, you know, the boundary between the working class and the middle class. Nowadays they're more confounded. So I feel like you are allowed to pursue the object of your affection in this lifetime, but you could lose them because you are not choosing to show your feelings, because of the fear of what happened to you in a past lifetime. You just have to remember that conditions were very different, and remember that the fear was placed there not because of you, because there was something wrong with you, but because people were just envious of this powerful love that you had with this person, and you were unfairly treated. So in this lifetime you are meant to receive something back, either from this very powerful nemesis like mother figure, or from society. It's like you are meant to receive some sort of gift because of how society took from you unfairly in a previous lifetime. You paid your dues, and now it's time for rewards. Wow, okay, group 1, this is what I can see. I hope that this helps you, and I cannot wait to see my next one. Ciao. Hi group 2, welcome to your reading. I hope you're doing well. So this is for those of you that were drawn to this rose opal bracelet. Rose opal represents self-love, self-acceptance, the softer, tender feelings in life. So let's see the details of your past life love story. I'm going to live shuffle from the Cosmic Slumber Tarot. Your name could be Bruna, or I'm hearing Bruna. Bruna, I think, if I'm not mistaken, in Italian or Spanish means dark-haired, right? Like, Okay, 5 of Pentacles. I'm already getting a feeling of somebody who has a wild soul. I see here the 3 of Torches. Okay, I think we're going way back. I see the 3 of Swords. 3-3 is your significant synchronicity. And I see the 2 of Pentacles. Okay. I'm already getting like hunter-gatherer societies. We're going way, way back. I definitely feel like we're tapping into a lifetime when you were a farmer, when you were an individual that lived very close to land, a person that enjoyed walking barefoot and just climbing into trees. In certain cases, you did not necessarily enjoy walking barefoot. You had to do it because you had no shoes. I see here an individual that is also really good at collecting things, at foraging, a person that could also explore mines. Some of you could really enjoy playing Minecraft or Stardew Valley because it takes you back. It reminds you of some of the things you used to do yourself, like you're playing them in the video games, but in the past you used to actually do these things like mine and forage in order to grow and develop and basically just survive. I see that you are a person that was surrounded by siblings, but I also see here that something happened, a heartbreaking event. It may have been the loss of a person. I don't think this is your loved one. Let's see the other card you have. So we have here release and balance. Okay, I see here time. Father time is Saturn, and I see here the new moon. Every new moon in this incarnation, you will have the opportunity through your dreams, through the work that you do by focusing on your body, your emotions, your breathing, you have the opportunity to unlock a past memory that is connected to this lifetime and to this love. Let me see some more because, okay, no, unfortunately it is what I thought it was. I was trying to sugarcoat things, I was trying not to be too brutal, but unfortunately I do see that this pertains to the loss of a loved one. And this is your romantic counterpart. With Pluto here, with the story of Persephone and Hades, and the Death card, transformation, I see here Scorpio energy, very strongly present. And then we have the 3 of Swords, one of the most painful cards in the tarot. You were definitely separated from your beloved, but I think it was a hunting accident. I think this is what happened. I think a third person took the life of your counterpart while you were out foraging together, while you were hunting, while you were trying to gather supplies. I'm hearing picking mushrooms and berries. And it was so meant to be that accidentally, I don't think it was with intention, somebody threw an arrow in the direction of your beloved and hit them. And hit them to such a degree that it killed them. Yeah, I'm hearing a sure hit. So I think that you started going through a deep process of sorrowful loss. I hear that you were wailing and screaming and like pulling your hair. And it was, I feel like the community really gathered around you to help you cope with this horrifying loss, this sudden, unprovoked, horrifying, accidental loss. It was also painful because you two were quite young, so you could have had your own family and also contributed to the, wealth of the village by having your own family. So your loss was also the loss of a village, of the community that you were part of. So I definitely feel that with release here and with balance, yeah, it's just so beautiful. I see like a lot of people gathering around you, putting their hands on you while you were screaming and crying. I see a lot of people kind of blowing smoke into your body, like precious herbs that they would create into bundles and then burn, and just blowing smoke into your body while you were crying. I see people putting their hands on your chest, on your belly to quiet you down. I see people coming in to give you food as you were trying to sleep in some sort of like almost tent-like structure in which they were trying to let you be so that you can rest for a couple of days. You were really helped by the community. I also feel that the person who accidentally killed your beloved was meant to give you the fruit of their hunt. I see this person coming towards you and giving you like a dead deer that they killed, and like completely bowing down in front of you and putting the deer at your feet. I see you spitting on this person, and I see that an elder comes into the situation to try, like an older person comes in to try to explain to all of you what was going on. There was a lot of rage, there was a lot of anger inside of your heart. You were really connected to your beloved. Your beloved was very close in age to you. You grew up together. You had a very strong bond, a very strong alliance. And it was just the sheer surprise and shock of this death that completely took you by surprise, because your beloved was not killed by an enemy so that you could understand, okay, we're in a war. It was expected that some of us would get it, It was killed by somebody from your own community, the same community that then contributed to healing you. Some of you may have been born in this lifetime with Saturn in Libra and Saturn in Aquarius. You have karma in terms of the connection with your loved one. You could be frequently separated from your beloved, and you have karma with the community. You could feel like you desperately want to be part of a community, but you are also rebelling against that very community that you want to be part of. I feel like pulling more cards. I'm sorry, I just want to know some more. What happened here? I feel like some of you decided to become hermit-like afterwards. This card is telling me that you started exploring other communities, other places. It's like you wanted to distance yourself from everybody once the healing began. So after the wailing stopped, the healing began. You started to accept what happened, but you also felt like you couldn't be part of this community anymore. So I see that what happened is that you chose to settle someplace close to the sea, and we have here the Queen of Cups. We have Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, a very motherly energy. Now, this motherly energy may not necessarily represent another person that you fell in love with. It could also mean that you met somebody who was quite maternal, who took you under their wing. And through work, through spending time together, she helped you heal your heart. She helped you find meaning in life again. But I also feel that the Queen of Cups is more like the element of the sea, that you really enjoyed being close to water. Water was really nourishing you. You may enjoy trips to the beach, being at the seaside. Even in the countryside, you may enjoy being next to a lake, next to a river. You could love boats, you could like fishing, you may enjoy seafood. There is just like the sea is calling you. And I feel like you definitely come to life when you are near water. If you are afraid of water, if this doesn't resonate, please choose a different pile. You are definitely at the wrong pile. I'm getting such a strong desire to be close to water, close to the sea, to explore, to travel by boat. You may have been at the moment incarnated as a Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. Most likely a Scorpio or somebody with very strong Pluto placements. And I am getting that, how can you resolve this past life karma where your beloved was so shockingly taken away from you as you were just beginning your life together? I feel like what needs to happen, first of all, is you came into this incarnation with the feeling that love is impossible. It's like, it's not going to happen for me. And I'm not going to allow myself to fall in love because I'm so afraid of losing the one I love. Life could have already tested some of you in this incarnation by getting you to lose a mother. Maybe you lost your mother early on in life. Or just a maternal energy. Maybe your grandmother was your mother figure and you lost her. There's just a feeling of losing somebody already, and your heart completely closed in, locked itself away. You have a lot of defenses related to love at the moment. So you want to be in love, but you are also incredibly defensive about it. Like, you want a mind, body, and soul connection with someone. Wow, okay. I felt like a wave of emotion coming over me. Whew, this is deep. So you want this, but at the same time, as soon as somebody touches you, you brush them away. It's like, no, don't get close to me. No, I can't do this. No. You pick up yourself, your belongings, and you move. You run away from feelings. A deep fear of intimacy and commitment coupled with a deep desire to be committed and to be intimate with somebody. It's not easy. It's not at all easy. You have to find the balance between being by yourself and being with somebody else. Yeah, so there needs to be this fine line between time alone. Exactly. Time alone. I wanted to point at this one. Time spent exploring, recharging, and time giving your energy to somebody you love. Yeah. You have the potential to be an incredible parent. If you are afraid of having a family and of nurturing life, I'm here to let you know that you are incredibly protective, incredibly present, and very good in cases of emergency. So you will be able to not only create life and have a child, but to sustain that life and protect that child from diseases, death, emergency situations. Yeah, you come to life in those moments. You know exactly what to do. You're very present. You're not afraid of intensity. So you can actually have the family you want. You can have the love that you want. But who's standing in the way of all these things happening? You. Fear. Defenses. So try to consciously work with each moon cycle, slowly, patiently in time. Nobody says that you have to overcome your fear of intimacy overnight. But with each lunar cycle, every new moon, try to listen to positive affirmations, maybe begin a therapeutic program, maybe do some physical breath work, spiritual work. There are so many varieties of healing yourself present at the moment in the collective. We are so lucky and blessed as a generation to have access to them. So you can even develop your own. With each full moon, celebrate how far you've come. With each new moon, begin something new that can help you create a positive new habit. If you're afraid of contact with people, try to work against that fear by exposing yourself to people. Exposure therapy could work wonders for you. So there needs to be the release of this pain. You've been holding on to so much pain, to so much sorrow, and you have to find a way to release it. The best form of release, and I keep putting the cards away, it's kind of like I feel like this energy of, I want to hear what you have to say, but I also want to push it away. You could have clicked off this reading and then clicked back on it several times. I'm happy you decided to continue, okay? So, the best way in which you can release feelings is to just have a good old-fashioned cry. You know, you don't have to do it publicly. You don't, if you feel ashamed of crying, nobody has to know but you. You know, you just need to find a way to release these feelings. Yeah, releasing them and then coming back to a point of balance, forgiving what happened, forgiving that member of the community from the past, letting go of how much you loved your beloved, I wanted to say, but it's repetitive. So your friend, your compagnon, that's what I'm hearing. Maybe some of you are French or you're from a French speaking country. And just understanding that you don't have to sacrifice your freedom and to give your heart and everything to a person. You can find a way to be by yourself and be together with somebody. There needs to be a balance. Even in the most loving, committed partnership, in a healthy situation, there are moments when each partner can be by themselves and think for themselves and feel for themselves, not being completely enmeshed in the other individual all the time, because that's toxic and it can lead to some conflicts. The soul wants to individuate while also seeking connection and companionship. These two things constantly need to be balanced. Yeah? So that's what I had for you. Group 2, thank you so much for listening. I hope you're still here. Yeah, I hope to see you in my next one. Ciao. Hey Group 3, welcome to your Pick a Card reading. I hope you're doing well, my darlings. So this is a reading for those of you who are drawn to the green jade bracelet. It's the second time I'm trying to record this reading. You're getting some sort of weird interferences. So let me just tell you something about green jade. I got caught up in my ring. Green jade is associated with royalty, right? It was considered to be the stone of emperors in ancient Asia, and it is associated with abundance, prosperity, good luck, and wealth. So, keeping this in mind, let's find out the details of your past life love story. I'm going to live shuffle from the Cosmic Slumber Tarot. Okay, for Group 3. Okay, so these are the cards that I got for you. We have the Two of Swords. We have the Morning. We also have the Eight of Torches. And we have the Six of Swords. Okay, I'm getting something really interesting here. I first heard Treasure Seeker, Treasure Hunter. Let's see the other cards. We have Heal. We have Intuition. Yeah, I am getting like, you know, the Koi Pond, which is mostly prevalent in Japan or in Asian countries in general. You may have had a past lifetime in Asia. I mean, obviously it's a huge continent, so any of the countries in that region, most likely Southeast Asia. We have here as well Wisdom, the High Priestess, Scheherazade and Shahryar. Okay, like, you know, because it's interesting, in this story, she was basically, she had to tell stories to save her life, to put it very bluntly, yeah? If she would tell a story that he didn't enjoy, he would just get up and impulsively cut her head off. That's what he used to do with his previous wives, and that's why Scheherazade, because she was intelligent and wise and calm, she took it upon herself to try to stop this string of decapitations that were really causing unrest in their community. And she tried to use her mind and her capacity to emotionally manipulate Shahryar towards an intended outcome, and that outcome was for him to heal and to stop killing. Yeah. In the process, obviously, they fell in love and he married her, but it's It's this interesting energy of having to live with a tiger in the house, right? Having to be very careful and intelligent enough to manage a person that could explode any minute. Kind of like how everybody in the world is dealing right now with the energy of Donald Trump, you know? Nobody wants to upset him because he's a ticking time bomb. Anyway, sorry about that. I had to make a comment, okay? You could be involved in politics at the moment, or maybe journalism. You may enjoy watching the news. I feel like I had to make this comment because I'm picking up on this energy from you as well. So, the details of your past life love story. It's a little bit strange because I'm picking up on a variety of elements. I see that you were married. First of all, you got married quite early in your life. And you had a wife and a child. You were male as well. I think only group 2 was the only one that I felt was female. But for you, group 3, I definitely feel like you were male. And I'm hearing you were the beloved last child in a family. First one to survive the pox. And I feel like you got married quite young. 14, 15, and you had a child and a wife. But I also feel like you lost them. The child and the wife were lost in some sort of water-related incident. I see them walking through the rice fields at dawn. It's like your wife took the baby and tried to run away from something or someone that was chasing them. She tried to walk through the rice fields, and they got deeper and deeper, and she reached the water and eventually drowned. Dried? Why did I say dried? That was weird. I'm getting raisins as well for some reason. Dried grapes, raisins, they may have contributed to your wife's drowning. You could hate raisins and dried grapes. That's really weird. So it's like your wife died trying to save your child. You tried to go after them. I see you diving, trying to look for them, but it was too late. I definitely feel like we're getting a lot of death energy and loss energy in this reading today. It's very strange. But I'm seeing here with the morning, you got a chance in the middle of your life to recreate your love life, to basically have a second try at love. And that's where I feel this energy comes in. You are a person that unfortunately developed this deep desire to control your beloved. It's like, I'm gonna marry again, and I'm going to put restrictions around this new person, this new wife, this new spouse, so that I can keep them for me, so that they won't die, so that I won't lose them. You weren't in the same murdering spree like Shahryar was in 1001 Arabian Nights, but you were certainly afraid of losing your beloved, and thereby you acted in a controlling manner. You could have been incarnated in this reality as a Taurus, Virgo, or a Capricorn, a very pragmatic earth sign that tends to see your beloved as a possession almost. Like as someone that belongs to you, as somebody that has to stay with you, as somebody that, you know, sometimes can have limited action. In a way, it's because you want to protect them. In a way, you love them so much, you value them so much, you know how unique they are, that you want to protect them. Yeah. So a new chance at life and at love. And here is where the second group of tarot cards comes in. I see that with healing and with intuition, you gradually had to learn how to relax in this new love, because I have the feeling that this person that you remarried was actually your true soulmate. The first one was one that more or less was an arranged marriage. You had to get married because your parents saw you as the only surviving child in a family of 3 or 4. You were the youngest, you survived the smallpox. So you got married as soon as you could help your parents. But it wasn't necessarily true love, it was duty, it was responsibility. With your second wife, however, you chose this person. It was freely given, freely chosen, and you were really into it. who are really in love, really into it, Gen Z style. No, but coming back, so I feel like you were definitely falling deeper and deeper in love with this person, and also trying to find ways to relax into this love, to not feel like you constantly need to watch whatever step this person was taking. I think that in the present times, with the use of a smartphone, you would have been more relaxed than in the past. I feel like in the past you had to pay people to watch your beloved, to guard your beloved, and it was quite expensive, okay? I feel like you had to work hard to get your way from a farm person to somebody that had wealthy means to sustain a wife that was most of the day guarded. Yeah. Let's see. The other cards are showing me more details. We have here the Knight of Wands. We have the Fool. We also have the Judgment card. And we have the Nine of Wands. Oh, Raven. The Raven, it's so important because it's a symbol of rebirth. It's also a symbol of sorrow. A definite new beginning in which you had to transform in order to maintain the love of this person. But I feel like something happened. Either you were sick or there was just this energy, because I saw that the battery of my phone is dying down. It's like you are depleted of energy. You could have been born in this lifetime with low energy. It was exhausting to be so controlling. That's what I'm hearing. It was exhausting to be so controlling. It was exhausting to not be able to relax in love. And you felt like love was somehow a burden, like it was suffocating you. Like it was high maintenance. You could be bringing some of these attitudes towards love from this past lifetime. I feel like the more time passed, the stronger your beloved was becoming. Your beloved also started messing with magic. I feel like she may have been initiated by an older person, a crone-like image, in basically finding ways to reclaim her freedom. Your beloved was deeply attached to you, but on the same level, she didn't love you as much as you loved her. The theme of unrequited love, of feeling obsessed with a person, needing to control that person, but feeling like the other person is not so interested in you, keeps repeating itself in this lifetime. And the way to heal, the way to get out of this cycle, is to relax more into love, to transform obsession into self-acceptance, self-development, to focus from the other person back on yourself, and to figure out, why am I feeling so obsessed? Obsession usually comes from something, a big feeling that we don't want to admit. And instead of actually focusing on the feeling, we project intense feelings onto somebody else. So if you feel obsessed with another person, if you feel like you can't stop thinking of them, you can't let them go, there's usually something that you're trying to escape from yourself, from your own body, from your own mind, from your own emotions. Come back into yourself, let the other person go. Heal by allowing things to go with the flow. You don't need to control. Some of you may have been born with a South Node in Virgo, a North Node in Pisces. You stand in your own way in love when you control. And the best way to attract is just to relax. And let people come to you, let experiences come to you. But that's really hard to do when you need a framework, you need stability and order and to know what to expect. So your beloved in a past lifetime kind of tried her hand at witchcraft. And I feel like eventually she claimed her freedom from you, mostly because you ended up dying. And you ended up dying because of something physical, a disease, something that happened. I don't know if your beloved may have used spells against you. I don't know if you were maybe low-key poisoned with arsenic or other substances that were hard to trace back then, laudanum for example. But something happened, you got sicker, and eventually your second wife was able to claim her freedom. With the help of a person who dabbled in magic, with the help of an individual that may still bring fear in your heart. So you could be, in this incarnation, equally attracted to magic and also incredibly repelled by it. And you can't explain to yourself why this contradictory feeling. It's because of this, of how your beloved used magic potentially against you, allegedly against you. It was not proven, but you can see here the energy, right? I'm here to let you know as well that Sagittarius is a very strong energy in your life in terms of protecting you, in terms of maybe even being the star sign of the woman that you will fall in love with or the man that you will fall in love with. I see here with the Knight of Wands, if you are a woman in this incarnation, you may fall in love with a Sagittarius man. I also see as well, or a Sagittarius woman, I don't know exactly what your preferences are. I see as well Pisces energy strongly represented here and here. So Pisces and Sagittarius are very deeply represented in this reading. Your person could be somebody quite wild, very in need of their personal space, somebody spiritual, could also be religious, philosophical, and very deeply attracted to this side of you. So if you have the spiritual, wild and free kind of energy, they're gonna vibe with that very strongly. And that's the energy you should focus on. Believe in the fact that you can be free and also love somebody freely. Try to see how that works. You don't have to control, you don't have to put a ring on it, you don't have to chase, you don't have to lock down. You don't need to do all these things to experience love, to experience fulfillment. You can love somebody freely. I highly recommend that you listen to Free Love by Depeche Mode after you finish watching this reading. Okay, just allow that music to pass through. It's a gorgeous song. Yeah? So, let go of judgment and jump into the wild, beautiful unknown of a love that doesn't require any definition, that doesn't require any limits, boundaries, or control. A love that you just feel and go with it. And that's how you will heal your heart from past life love pain. I hope this helps. I'll see you in my next one. Ciao. Hi group 4. Hello darlings. Welcome to your reading. I'm laughing because the light has changed a little bit because it is the middle of the day right now. It's been taking me a whole day to film this reading, but I'm taking my sweet time because I feel like these messages are important. For some of you out there, you're really looking to find out the details of your past life love story to see how it may be affecting your current love energy. So this reading, just so you know you're at the right pile, is for those of you that were drawn to the Howlite bracelet. Howlite is considered to be a stone of spiritual protection. It is specifically good with anything related to white magic. It helps you connect with white light, divine energy. And I also find it that it almost like it gives you a lot of resilience. I always wear it when I need to have tough conversations, and it helps me keep my emotions balanced. Like I never overdo it on the day when I'm wearing this crystal bracelet. Okay, so all this being said, it could be that emotional resilience was necessary for you to kind of maintain your love connection in a previous lifetime. Let's see the cards that you got. I'm going to live shuffle right now from the Cosmic Slumber Tarot. I already pre-shuffled some oracle cards. I can hear the police alarm outside, so something alarming, something that is just coming to awareness at the moment, something that is... Have you been having nightmares lately? Have you been just startled out of sleep? Like waking up all of a sudden like, I need to do this or I need to do that? I feel like some of you have. Yeah, I had to cut out the loud police alarm. So coming back to your cards, we have here the Sun. I also see here the Seven of Swords. We also have here the Princess? Yeah, Princess of Pentacles. And we have here the Three of Pentacles. Okay. Well, one thing is for sure, you are certainly a royal. 100%. Maybe the song We Will Never Be Royals, Royals by Lord resonated with you deeply when it came out. Let's see your oracle cards. I need more information. We have here the Six of Staves or the Six of Wands. I also have here the Four of Coins from a different tarot deck, Queen of Pentacles, okay, Wheel of Fortune, and we also have the Nine of Wands, this mysterious crone-like figure with the raven that appeared in Group 4's reading as well. And then we also have Reconnect and Foresee. Okay, interesting. So right off the bat, I can tell that you are actually one of the privileged, yeah? You were a person that lived at some sort of royal court in Europe, turn of the century, right in between the 17th and the 18th century. Could be France, could be Belgium, could be Holland. You were definitely somebody well off and maybe engaged in some sort of conflict, because my cats are playing in the cat tunnel and they were pawing each other. Yeah, so Group 4, your reading got interrupted again. It was 4:44 when I started recording again, so you are in some way blessed. I am going to deliver this message to you, just so you know there are some massive blocks, like either to your capacity to remember your past life, to your capacity to get in touch with the divine at the moment. Maybe there could be some people like evil eyeing you. I don't mean to scare you, but you need to do some cleansing with sage, with salt, you know, stay away from low vibrational environments. So coming back to your past life love story, there may have been a conflict in your region. My cats emphasize that. So you could have been part of a kingdom. I keep hearing French words like royaume, le royaume uni. It could be that your country was at war with the United Kingdom, yeah. And in the background of these large conflagrations, you were living your beautiful upper class lifestyle. I feel like you were quite indulgent. I feel like you were the favorite of your mother's eye. I am getting, again, I don't know what's going on, but I am getting that a lot of you in past lives were men. Like, this is the fourth time or the third time in the pick a card reading on a whole today when I am seeing that you were born male, yeah? And you were like the favorite, the family favorite. And I feel like these cards are telling me the story of how you grew up to be a really beautiful, handsome, dashing person, very charismatic, very enthusiastic, if you know what I mean, with your energy, with your body. I feel like you were very playful as well, and a lot of people wanted to be around you. You were like a really popular royal. But the problem is that you fell in love with somebody you couldn't have. Typical of these cases, right? You were like a Casanova, you could have had anyone, but you fell in love exactly with the jewel that you couldn't have. And I see here a Queen of Pentacles, so a very commonsensical, pragmatic, protected individual. I think she was the daughter of a friend of your father's, and I'm getting that your father delegated this royal to go. He was like working in the military. Her father was working in the military, and he may have gotten killed as part of a plot. It's like the tea. There's so much tea related to her father figure, and she ended up in a situation in which without a father, she had to be married quickly. She got married to somebody who you didn't like. I'm getting here with the Four of Cups that she could have gotten married with somebody who was a little bit emotionally wishy-washy, all over the place, a person who was incredibly sensitive and you couldn't stomach that. You weren't at all a sensitive character. I'm seeing here very strongly Leo, Aries, Sagittarius energy, most likely Leo. You're very bold and brave and gregarious and extravagant and in your face and ha ha ha, you know. And this other individual that your beloved got married to was sensitive, poetic, introverted, kind of sickly as well. And I think she was a little bit bored or dissatisfied with this marriage, but it did bring a lot of fortune, yeah. And I'm also hearing that your wealth increased. Your family continued to do really well, and I'm hearing mostly because they have taken from, as settlers, they have taken from other indigenous populations. Their wealth continued to grow. but it's kind of like you also had a domineering father. I'm getting a couple of things. Yeah, and there was something here with yeah, it's like, I feel like sorry, it may be TMI, but I'm like ingesting a lot of saliva, so it's like you could have had a drinking habit which kind of spiraled out of control at some point. But the details of this love, it's harder to put into words because it's like you were all over the place. And I feel like you even took on a lover of the same gender as you at some point. It's kind of the heartache of not being able to have the one that you wanted, pushed you into kind of like disavowing women completely, and you're like, I'm done with the beautiful sex. I will just jump into a connection with somebody of my own gender, you know, or something like that. And I'm only saying beautiful sex because it's like a traditional way of identifying women, but you know, it doesn't necessarily apply to modern age descriptions, right? But I definitely see that you took on this lover who was slightly younger than you. This person was kind of like a page boy, and it's like you had a very strong friendship with this individual beforehand, but now it only became more powerful. And my cat is here. In this lifetime, this lover that you had in a previous lifetime will become reincarnated as a pet. So if you adopt a dog or a cat and they're very loving and very affectionate with you, it's because in a past lifetime you were romantically involved. Just so you know, I know it's a bit weird, but the soul kind of chooses a random variety of life forms to incarnate. Sometimes you get reincarnated as a plant, you know. Yeah, you don't get much say in that. So I see very strongly here that you lived from a rather self-involved placement. Like you were this individual who was a lot about winning things for yourself, gratifying yourself. You were very generous as well. You would give gifts, throw lavish parties, really bless and take care of the people that were around you. But you were also a little bit surrounded by people pleasing and sycophants, you know, like because people wanted to get access to your riches because you were beautiful and popular. You tended to surround yourself with almost anyone that would compliment you. And this proved to be detrimental, and I'm getting here to the fact that you were easily slandered and people stole a lot of things from you. You weren't very good at keeping tabs on your expenses, you know, and really being discerning about what you give to whom and for what purpose. You just gave, you know, like, yo, whatever, you were in a good mood, drinks on the house, you know, here, have my family's jewels, why not, you know. It's a very reckless energy, and I see here with Jupiter energy, you may have been born in this lifetime with Jupiter and Leo, so you could have a very strong sense of self, you know who you are, you're very passionate, but you could also be a little bit like you could occasionally throw tantrums and you could be excessive, yeah, so be mindful of the shadow aspects of this energy, but definitely, you know, you are very strongly protected by the divine if you have any Leo placements in your chart. Leo is very blessed energy, it's solar energy, a lot of health and vitality come to people who have a lot of Leo energy in their chart. So I see here a lot of like physical strength. I definitely see here a lot of connections. You had collaborators left and right with the Three of Coins here. You were also engaged in a lot of social projects, in a lot of cultural events, you know. You were really like not just wasting your money on friends and frivolous pleasures, but you were trying to build places, trying to help businesses grow. If you really liked the work of a blacksmith or a couturier or somebody, you were really helping them by purchasing a lot of things from them. You know, I feel like you also wanted to contribute to music and art. So you had this really wonderful side of yourself, but it's kind of like, oh my goodness, I'm getting that this broken-hearted period through which you went through, you, okay, a couple of things. I'm not sure if he was alive around the time when you lived. Was Byron alive at the turn of the century, 18th century? But I feel like you heard of him or were influenced by him or you met him. And it was very like this excessive playboy lifestyle was something that you would definitely support. or you were inspired by it. And I definitely see here that this broken-hearted energy from falling in love for this person that you couldn't have. I'm not even sure if it was true love. It was more like, I want what I can't have, you know, it's that frustration. This inspired a lot of creative energy inside of you. I'm hearing that you even built a house in the countryside for your family based on your need to retreat after you were so broken-hearted that your beloved married somebody else. You may find it in yourself in the current incarnation, this desire to want to build something. It's like, I want to escape society and I want to build my own house in the wilderness. It's because of this tendency that you had in a previous lifetime. I feel like you quickly kind of let this person go. Like you felt hurt, but then you didn't continue to take good care of her. I feel like she moved to Germany or Austria, because I'm getting some German words right now. Yeah, okay. And you completely kind of like, you felt hurt that you got married. You went through a period of broken-hearted creativity, and then you completely moved on to somebody else. And you moved on to this person, as I said, this page boy who was your friend and supporter and became your lover, who is currently incarnated in your pet. If you have a pet, the first pet that you have, because you may have more than one pet, but the first pet is the soul of your friend from a past lifetime. Now, I definitely feel like in this incarnation, you may have had a tarot reading or something witchy done to you in the past, because I have a feeling that as part of the entertainment, as part of the parties that you would throw, you invited at some point a person that was not at all fitting in the collective party-like energy. It's kind of like you invited this tarot reader or this witch in the belief that she's going to provide some entertaining insights to the people at the party, but in reality she wasn't messing around. You know, she came there and she was the real deal, and she may have actually cursed either you or a couple of people, because part of the reason why you were losing money and you had slander affecting your the way in which people perceived you, right? Because slander is like malicious gossip that affects your public status, was because of this person casting something upon you. And it's because she wanted to see you live within certain limits. You were too excessive, you were too out of control. And this individual saw that other people around you were suffering and you weren't paying attention to the suffering of other people. You were so self-involved that she felt you needed to be taught a lesson. And I think that in this lifetime, it's kind of strange, but I feel like you may have been born with the gift of foresight, a gift that helps you reconnect with the version of you that made fun of witchcraft in order to help you resolve that karma. So it's like you insulted somebody who was dabbling in the occult. This person cast a spell against you. You're bringing this negative karma with you in this reality, and you need to do spiritual work and to dabble in the occult in order to heal and break through this pattern. I think that's why you were drawn to my channel. I think that's why you clicked on this reading, and I think that's why you're here. It's all coming full circle. Much like you see it in this stairway to heaven, yeah? So, learning about the occult, practicing spell work, playing with tarot, learning about astrology, it's going to help you lift whatever negative energy has been placed upon you by this person that felt in a way disrespected by your excessiveness. But I'm here to let you know that you weren't really deeply in love in a past lifetime. It was more of an ego trip between you and this beautiful individual. I feel like this person may reincarnate in this reality as a sibling or as a very good friend of yours from school. So you meet this person in childhood. And this person is meant to balance you out, to keep you a little bit more restrained, so that you can gradually open your heart and include other people in your life. And as you do so, you have the wonderful opportunity of falling in love for the first time. Your soul could be a very new soul with the sun here, very childlike, and you're meant to experience love for the first time in this incarnation. And on that note, I don't know what else to add to that. That's pretty phenomenal. Let me know in the comments if this resonated. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in my next one. Ciao. Group 5, hello. I hope you're doing well. I don't know if it is the fact that you're rushing, but I'm getting a very rushed kind of energy. I already pre-selected all of the cards for you. I skipped over the live shuffling, and my camera started recording. It has a motion sensor very fast, like without me needing to prompt it. So I don't know, I hope that you're able to kind of relax and smell the roses. It's okay to slow down a little bit. But anyway, this is a reading for those of you that were drawn to this carnelian bracelet, the stone of safety, stability, loyalty, usually associated with Capricorn energy. So I'm not sure if you're a Capricorn in between two important meetings, stopping by to watch this pickacard reading. Thank you kindly for sharing a bit of your free time with me. I know it's very precious. If you have Capricorn energy in your chart, you always want to achieve. You're very disciplined. You work very hard. So with this being said, let's see if I can provide you with a quick reading. I'm not going to guarantee that it will be very fast because I want to take my time and give you quality, not fast quantity. Yeah. Okay, so all this being said, the details of your past life love story. First of all, we have here, wow, the 10 of Wands. After having read the Annihilation books, like the Southern Reach trilogy by Jeff Vandermeer, this takes me back to that energy, right? I don't know, there's just something creepy about this 10 of Wands. Okay, creepiness, good. We start off very well. We have here the 10 of Cups, twins. I can also see here the 7 of Wands, the wolf. I'm also seeing strength, Leo energy. Leo energy is really interesting because it appeared for group 4 as well. Maybe you listened to group 4 and didn't resonate and you stumbled upon group 5. I also need to kind of tuck in a little bit. Yeah. Let's see. We also have here Orpheus and Eurydice. Okay, the sacrifice. Oh, it's such a sad love story. We also have request, the egg timer, and we have record. On the record. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. You may have made a pact with a being that is not of this world in a previous lifetime in order to try to save your beloved. Okay. Okay. Give me a second. We have here the Empress. Yeah, we have here the Magician. Talk about magic, right? We have here the 5 of Cups. Oh no, yeah, it's what I thought. We have the 4 of Swords. Yeah, okay. Well, good news. If you are a female watching this, you were also female in a past lifetime. I don't know why, but throughout this entire pick a card, I stumbled upon people being incarnated as men in previous lifetimes. But in case you really wanted to be female here and female there, I can completely let you know that this happened. Yeah, we have here the Empress, Taurus energy. We also have Leo energy very present in your chart. You were the mother of 2 twin beautiful girls, which you created in combination with your beloved. I feel like you married out of love and not out of convenience or pressure. I don't think this was an arranged marriage. I'm not getting very strong details of... Give me a second. I feel like you guys may have been born somewhere around the Mediterranean, especially the northern part of Africa, like Tunisia, Algeria, Egypt, that region. And I'm getting a sense of being raised kind of like in the middle, like not really a poor family, not really an incredibly wealthy family. You were just part of a working family, and you yourself were also working with your beloved. Yeah, I am getting like whoa. You lived in a very warm climate, 100%. I'm here to guarantee, because I'm not only feeling very warm, but I'm kind of feeling like I don't know how to explain it, but I'm kind of feeling the sweat dripping off your forehead while you were baking bread and rolling things, you know. And I keep seeing these colors, like the colors of her dress, like this burnt sienna and wood-like, and you live like in a structure, like a house that was incredibly like in the warmth and the heat of the day. Yeah, it's like all sorts of like spiky bushes around you. There was a sense of community and a sense of this is not going to be a fast reading, okay, so I'm sorry about this, but things are coming to me very slowly. You lived a pretty quiet, settled, beautiful life. This wasn't necessarily a life filled with conflict until an event happened. An event that, yeah, I could barely swallow. I could feel the emotion contained. An event happened that unfortunately took your husband away. Your husband died under mysterious circumstances. I hear that he went out hunting, or he went out with a friend. He traveled a specific distance, and then like what was left of him were just limbs. And a lot of people believed that he came across a wild animal that eviscerated him, or there was just something brutal that happened to him. You weren't of that belief. You believed that people have done this to him and then blamed it on wild animals. And I think it's because there was something in the community, somebody in the community, like a powerful individual that wanted your twin children. Like, I think that you were seen as some sort of like miracle worker, because I feel like in the region when you were born, there weren't that many children being born. And even more, if they were born, they wouldn't survive to a certain age. Like, I'm hearing past the age of 5, very few children would survive. And you had 2 twin daughters that made it. And they were very loved and very well cared for, mostly because you were very good at keeping things alive. But people saw it as some form of magic. And there was this wealthy individual that wanted your children. And I feel like for his own like spouse, or I don't know, I really don't want to know what this person wanted to do with your children, but there was this deep desire, right? And this desire was frustrated by the fact that you had a spouse that loved you and wanted to defend you. So the moment when you heard that something bad happened to your husband, immediately you thought of this individual, immediately you thought of this individual kind of wanting to destroy your family and take your children. So what happened is that now that you were by yourself, because your husband was sacrificed, what you had to do was the unthinkable. And that was to summon dark forces to defend you. And you did it out of desperation. You did it because you saw that appealing to the dark was something that was powerful and fast. It was immediate. Be careful, because in this incarnation, you have this tendency to go for fast, quick things that do the job. Be very mindful, because I feel like you should take the other approach. You may have been born with South Node in Scorpio, North Node in Taurus. You really need to learn how to be patient in this lifetime. You need to understand that what is built slowly in time resists, while what is built really fast crumbles, right? So, and also you should try to stay away from getting in touch with the darkness, okay? So very powerfully, I see that you summoned a creature of the dark to help protect your family and attack your enemy. You were desperate. There's nobody judging you for what you had to do, especially since the community that you were part of was not really into protecting you, seeing as you were just one person and they were many, and they needed this individual. They needed the protection of this individual. So it was very corrupt in that environment, and left to your own devices with 2 daughters that you had to protect in the absence of your beloved, you did what you could best. You did what any mother that protects and tries to survive does, right? And it was effective. I'm here to let you know that your request was granted, but also that beings from beyond the veil are keeping a record. So it may just be that you were born in this lifetime with some karma to deal with, some very heavy, stuffy karma. It could be very difficult for you to create wealth on your own and to maintain it. It may be very hard to have people supporting you, honoring your words, your thoughts, your values. You could have gone through certain situations of abuse or moments when you're feeling isolated. It may be very difficult for you to have children, okay? It could be like you may be as part of a couple that is trying in vitro fertilization, or you could be of a certain age and you feel like the clock is ticking, my biological clock is ticking, why am I not getting pregnant? Why am I not being able to like give birth or give life? Or yeah, there's a big burden on your shoulder, and it's a spiritual burden, accrued because of the fact that you dabbled in the occult, but kind of like with the wrong side of the occult, if you can call it like that, the dark side of the occult, which usually cashes in very strongly in another lifetime and comes with a really difficult to handle, like, what is that thing, dobunda. interest rate, right? The interest rate is ouch, it's not fair. So in terms of what can you do in this lifetime to meet a loved one, to have a family, it may be very difficult for you to do that, and I'm here to let you know that it's because of this. It's because of what happened in a past lifetime, of what you summoned when you felt pushed against the wall. I feel like the divine saw that what you were doing was for a good cause. I feel that you were a mother that was trying to protect children. Indeed, you could have chosen other ways to protect them, like maybe just packing your bags and moving to another community, but nobody guaranteed that you would be protected in that community. So I feel like in this lifetime, what you need to do is working with people who have mental health issues, disabilities, people who are hurt and wounded, will help you pay back the difficult karma you acquired in a past lifetime. You have to do light work. You have to get in touch with the divine. You have to pray. You have to work at your relationship with the divine. You have to summon the help of angels. Very few times will things work out just on your own. You are basically connected to the divine in a way in which you may not enjoy it so much in this lifetime, if that makes any sense. You may have been born a skeptic. You could be a little bit reluctant to believe in the divine, or your faith has limits. And God is kind of like, because you went to the dark side in a past life, in this lifetime, if you want to achieve all these blessings, I'm not going to give them to you very easily, because I first want to see how much faith you have in me. Are we going to work together at this connection? Are you going to believe in the signs I'm going to send you? Do you believe you are blessed? Do you believe that I am here and I'm present and I'm protecting you? And the more you say yes to these things, and the more you go out into the world and try to be kind and help other people, the more you will process through this karma. But try to go at it slowly. Try to schedule in times to rest. Try not to be overly proud and ambitious in your goals. You have to understand that your physical material goals are not as important as the way in which you give back to other people emotionally. Yeah. You may go through certain losses in this lifetime, but I'm here to let you know that every loss will be replaced by a new individual, a new family member, something new entering your life. You just have to keep the faith. That's the test. Yeah. So in terms of falling in love in this lifetime, the more relaxed, calm, and allowing you are, the more people are going to come towards you. In the first part of your life, you may have lost loved ones, or lost a home, or lost money, or lost something important to you. But in the second part of this lifetime, you will be allowed to have your own family and meet a soulmate, as long as you don't grab at it, as long as you don't rush into it, as long as you don't force things. Yeah, because remember, you carry this shadow with you, the shadow that is pushing you, like the little devil on the shoulder. You never got rid of it. Since you made the pact, it's there with you. asking you to gamble your life, asking you to make wrong decisions, asking you to cheat on a partner, asking you to, do all sorts of things that will cause drama. So try not to act on that tempting desire that gives you a fast reward, but try to rest and painfully, I hear that it's painful for you, patiently allow things to develop. And that's for sure going to attract towards you a worthy, I'm also hearing wealthy counterpart. Be careful as well, because you could love money and riches more than you love people. And that's again the consequence of this dark soul keeping you tied to materialism. There's nothing wrong with loving money, there's nothing wrong with doing a good job and expecting to be rewarded for it, but there is such a thing as excess, doing too much, buying too much, prioritizing money over and above family and other things. There should be a balance, Okay, good. That's thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I hope that you have enjoyed this reading. It was a little bit harsh, I have to admit, but I hope that it helps you bring some things to light. If it resonated, comment down below, and I cannot wait to see my next one. Bye. Hi Group 6, welcome to your reading. Hello my darlings, let's find out the details of your past life love story. So this is for those of you who were drawn to the obsidian. I made it to my last bracelet, my arm is free. Obsidian is the stone of protection. It's in a different kind of protection than the howlite. For example, this mirrors back negative energy and puts it right to the sender. So it is also a volcanic stone. It is created when lava meets water. So it's considered by many alchemists to be one of the best magical tools in your toolkit, because it carries the energy of both fire and water, so spirit and also life-giving matter. Now, I am tempted to say that, okay, no, I'm not gonna say it. Let's just see what are the cards that you got. I'm gonna say it if I see it in the cards. I don't want to jump ahead. We have here the star, okay, Aquarius energy. We also have here the 7 of Cups. Oh, okay. It's really nice. I wanted to say your reading is really romantic, but let's see. We have here the Justice. Libra and Aquarius. We have the Prince of Swords. Yeah, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. We have here full-on compatibility. We have a religious conflict already. We have the element of law, and we have some sort of persecution. Now, let's see. What else can we glean? 6 of Coins. We also have here, the Page of Wands, a child, interesting. We have here the Page of Pentacles, another child. What's going on? And we have the 5 of Cups. This card keeps appearing. It appeared for, there's a lot of loss, a lot of sadness, and needing to overcome the sadness. Some of you may have been born with a tendency towards depressive states, if not full-blown depression. I also see here passion, and I see here ponder. Okay, where my South Node in Libras and North Node in Aries at. Very strong energy here of a person that naturally their comfort zone is intellect, but what would really rescue them from depression and a life that is lived in isolation is passion. It's being bold and brave enough to claim what is yours. And we also have here Tannhauser and Elizabeth, the Judgment card, the deep transformation. Okay, in this lifetime, I'm going to give you in a nutshell the energy that I see in this lifetime. If you want to be happy, it's like you have to push yourself to create a character that is very different than the person you are in the first part of life. In the first part of your lifetime, you are going to have to pay back some very strong karmic energy. You will be born in certain conditions, in certain relationships, in which you are going to be feeling like you are a little bit trapped in them, or like people are suffocating you with their love, like love is something controlling. you are going to, because of this energy, you're going to miss out on a lot of people that come towards you wanting to love you with all their heart, but you're going to be pushing them away, feeling like, I need time for myself, I need to be in my own ivory tower, I want to self-isolate, just like Elizabeth pushed Tannhauser away. She was like disgusted by him and pushed him away. The problem is that it's exactly those people that you need to accept and to allow them to transform you. Because in the past, I feel like you were an individual that was very sweet, liked by many, naive. I feel like you were idealistic. You had a very strong belief that was unfortunately tested, right? You could have been a witch that unfortunately fell as part of the witch trials. So you were persecuted for the job that you were doing. You may have been either a Christian, I don't know exactly what kind, but it could have been that you were part of the whole conflict between the Protestants and the Catholics, and you could have been on the losing side. I feel like in any way you were judged for a belief that you had, for a type of occupation or the family, the social group that you were coming from. And I feel like you were unfairly judged, unfairly trialed, and as a consequence, you may have been offed, right? So killed in the process. I don't feel that you spent any time in prison, but there was, without a doubt, a period of martyrdom. I feel that you were mostly in love with a higher power, like your capacity to love somebody else was mediated by God. You were very peaceful, I would say, and that's what made the martyrdom even more cruel, because you really were this very sweet, idealistic, peaceful person that the society, community turned against because of their own unnatural projections. And I think that this is why you were drawn to the obsidian, and this need to protect yourself could be very strongly felt in this reality. You may be feeling like your life up until this point has been a series of disappointments. People could have been blocking you all the time. You are a very beautiful and attractive person, but people always saw this as you're using your beauty to get someplace, or they turned your good qualities against you, like you are trying to steal my man, or you're trying to steal my person, or you're trying to get up the ladder in a career by sleeping with the boss because you're so beautiful. Like your beauty was never like something other people enjoyed. It was always used against you, like to label you as an easy woman, or as somebody that was in some way like you see this red, right? This stain on society, this temptress, right? And definitely the Madonna and the whore complex are very strongly represented here, yeah? And you always feel judged. You always feel like things are unfair. Laws could be changing overnight in the region where you are. So what seems okay one moment, 2 seasons from that moment, it's illegal, it's banned. So you're having to really navigate this really difficult process of trying to be yourself in a world that constantly makes you feel like you can't. And your way out of this is by crafting your own personality, your own identity. The divine has given you free will in this incarnation to create your own personality, to style yourself however you want, to look back at the things that used to give you joy and pleasure when you were a child, to decorate your body however you want it to look like, and to create a character in your mind. I want to be this kind of person. I want to look in this way. I want to talk in this way. And to steadily work towards behaving in that way. And that's what's going to attract love towards you, because you will meet a counterpart that has also been working on this character. I'm going to say something really controversial, because we live in the society that is obsessively drilling into us that we should be authentic. No, in your case, no. Authenticity is not going to work towards you or for you. It's going to smack you in the face and put you right back where you were in this past lifetime when the community bullied you. Yeah? No, don't be that. Be somebody else. Transform yourself, create a character. Let me give you an example of how this worked in a way that was successful. Look at the actress Mae West. She was an incredibly creative person with a lot of charm and charisma, but nobody paid attention to her because she looked commonplace, mousy. She was very attached to her mother. She didn't have anything that stood out. Until she dyed her hair platinum blonde, she started behaving like a guy and making jokes like a man, like completely licentious sexual jokes that a lot of people were shocked at. And she started dressing in these really expensive, jewel-like, bedazzled kind of garments and behaving like she's a femme fatale with a bit of a sailor's mouth, you know? And that character that she had created for herself brought her fame, fortune, and acclaim. Obviously, she was an actress, so it was part of her job to become somebody else. But in most of her movies, she played herself, to be honest. So you can be the same. And not only that, but by being in this way, you are going to inspire other people to become themselves. And Mae West was also born with a South Node in Libra and a North Node in Aries. Another example would be, look at Gillian Anderson or Gillian Anderson. She also created characters through her role as an actress. And it's kind of like a lot of people see her still through that character that she played in The X-Files, Dana Scully. In the same way, I'm not saying that you should become like these two women, but in a similar fashion, you can craft a personality for yourself. It doesn't mean that you will stop living from an authentic point of view, but it will work in your favor and it will protect you from the wrath of the community and their stupid projections onto you, and it will attract the soulmate towards you. Because I'm here to let you know that your soulmate, we have here with the 7 Prince of Swords and 7 of Cups. This is somebody who is very intelligent and could be working in the entertainment industry, okay? And by you crafting this character, you are going to attract this person because they also have a desire to become somebody else, to craft somebody else. They could also be like a writer that writes scripts, or a person that has a podcast, somebody who speaks from the heart and has this very it's very hard to put into words. They speak from the heart, but they have this constructed character. It's like people know what to get when they tune in to see this person. I hope that makes sense. Like there is a certain established formula that they have created for themselves. And you know, a lot of people that speak to the public, a lot of them have to craft this image. It's not something wrong, it's actually quite intelligent. So I'm here to let you know as well that in this lifetime, you will have 2 children, at least. One of them is going to be a fire sign, and one of them is going to be an earth sign. So get ready for somebody who's incredibly enthusiastic and will find it hard to sleep because they have so much energy, and somebody who's very pragmatic, does their homework, respects rules. So you're going to have 2 really beautiful children, potentially a boy or a girl, or I think one of them at least is going to be gender non-conforming. Yeah. In terms of the details of your past lifetime, as I said, I'm not seeing here so much about passionate love because you chose the other path. You chose more like isolation, hermiting, dedicating your life to God. And in this reality, you are meant to create this character, attract your counterpart, and live out the life of passion and become the parent to 2 beautiful children. Okay? So even though you still may have the tendency to kind of wallow in negative, sad feelings, maybe from time to time you're not wallowing, it just comes over you as a mental health issue. You may be feeling utterly depressed and overwhelmed by all the problems of the world, especially if you're empathetic, you're just absorbing the negativity in the collective, and there may need to be better boundaries there. I'm here to let you know that you can fulfill a deep wish of yours to live a life of passion together with a counterpart, somebody who understands that you had to craft an image of who you are, yeah, to protect yourself and to avoid falling into this pit of depression. Because this person will have created a character themselves to protect themselves. And once you come together, you can admit these things to yourself. You will have a beautiful future together in which you both can be authentically together in the private and two different created characters in the public. So you will be able to live out both worlds without the need to compromise any of yourself, without feeling like I either have to live in isolation and completely depressed, but I will be authentic, or I have to pretend I'm somebody I'm not. I need to always be an entertainer. People like me more when I do that, but what about my authentic side? There is a way you can balance these things out, and your partner is going to help you with that. But you should definitely accept the love that people want to give you in your life, because that's how you will attract your partner. They will come to you. As long as you go with the flow and you don't block people from getting to know you, as long as you don't continuously choose to be in a connection with the divine rather than with the human being here on earth, fully flesh and blood. Okay, so go and have fun. Go and have fun. You deserve it. You deserve a life filled with passion, creativity, crafting characters, being a little bit outrageous. Express yourself. You will not be punished for expressing yourself like you were in a past lifetime. This I guarantee. Okay? This is the reading that I had for you, Group 6. Thank you so much for being here. I hope this helps. Comment below and let me know your story. If it resonates in any way, I would be more than happy to hear that. And until next time, please take care. I'll see you then. Ciao.